So how's it going, guys? I'm here with a long requested review. People have been wanting me to talk about Dragon Ball Super. Well, I held off on a while because I hate watching the show in subtitles, with the English subtitles, with the Japanese voiceovers. I hate it. I've seen a few episodes with it, and, you know, it's just, I'm sorry. It's been like that ever since Dragon Ball Z for me. I know a lot of Dragon Ball fans like to watch their shows that way. They like to watch anime that way, and I just can't watch it that way. It's very annoying. The voices are way too different. They're not the voices I grew up with watching on Toonami. So I just, I can't accept it. I'm not saying that it's terrible or bad or anything. I'm not knocking people, but it affects my enjoyability of the show. So, as you guys can tell, I'm all set. I've got my my Super Saiyan level 3 Goku t-shirt on here, and I'm ready to talk about the show right here. And there you go. I've got the DVD. So, I started watching it on Cartoon Network. They started airing this on, I believe it was Sunday nights. And, I started falling behind, so I figured, let me just get the DVD. You might be asking, Brad, why did you not get the Blu-ray? We know that you have an Xbox. We know you have the capability of watching Blu-rays. Well, because I'm a cheap bastard, I found this on eBay for $15 with free shipping. So there was no way I was going to pass this up. And I've looked at it. Blu-ray looks better, but barely. And I was just looking for a means to watch the show. This series is already off to a great start. I already have the second DVD. So I will actually be buying the third one, and I probably will be collecting them all because I have all the volumes of Dragon Ball Z, all 9 seasons. And I haven't reviewed all of them. I started, reviewing them, and I kind of stopped after a while, because there was also a period where I didn't buy them. I stopped after Season 4, but I'm here with this review, and this show, for me, I gotta say, they started off really well. It's a bit weird how they did this, because it's so much different than how they handled Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. Before this series came out, even in Japan, they had Battle of the Gods, which I think is an amazing movie. I think that is. I didn't get to see it in theaters. I saw, Revival of F or Resurrection of F. I don't even remember what the hell they called it. But they're making like that didn't happen. That Battle of the Gods didn't happen, and they're retelling the Battle of the Gods events through basically 13 episodes. And, well, this story arc, the whole thing with Goku versus Beerus, it continues into the second volume. I'm not a really big fan of the way how they're doing these DVDs. Instead of breaking them up into seasons, they're doing this in a really, crappy way. They actually broke the DVDs up into 13 episodes. Now, if you remember the Dragon Ball Z, those motherfuckers would have 6 discs in there, and they'd have 5 episodes on it. So you were getting mostly, depending on the number of episodes within the season, you were getting a good 25, 26 episodes. So for the 20-something dollars, as long as you bought it at a fair price and you didn't pay the exact retail price, you didn't pay the $30. I remember seeing them in certain local anime shops. They have one very close to my neighborhood, and they wanted something like $30-something for season 4 of Dragon Ball Z. And I remember I was like, wow, some sucker's probably gonna pay that. They're in there to go play probably Magic the Gathering. They're gonna go pick up that Dragon Ball Z DVD. But now I think with online and Amazon, I don't think anybody's really going to be buying those DVDs or Blu-rays at those prices. So, I don't really like the format right off the bat, just to tell you. 13 episodes, that's cheap as, not like cheap price-wise, that's cheap as fuck. Like, meaning the quality of the presentation of the package that you're paying for. I mean, and you're going to buy the Blu-ray, and if you buy the Blu-ray new, it's seriously, it's like $27.99, $28.99. It's more expensive than the DVDs. Okay, it's a Blu-ray, but still, like, you're paying $20 for the DVDs. It's still the same price as the Dragon Ball Z ones. But you don't feel as satisfied with the purchase as I did. Like, oh, I'm getting the whole season. I get to see the whole story. No, you only get to see a part of the story. And it's actually missing an episode of the story. And that's exactly why. I mean, I had the very intention of collecting this whole series because, as you guys can tell, I'm a massive fan. So without a doubt, I look to collecting them. I'm looking to collect them all. So, one way or the other. I know that sooner or later they're probably going to come out. People have complained about this, not as much as I would have liked to see, but they're probably going to release it in a better way. They've done this before, like when they were doing like the Ninja Turtle DVDs. I know that's a weird comparison, but that's another childhood favorite of mine. And that's going even further back. But when they first started releasing the DVDs, they did it in a retarded ass way, where they kept on releasing like the seasons in parts, and it was like getting ridiculous until finally they decided to and the reason why I'm bending down is because I'm getting something. They decided to, boom, there you go. This is every single Ninja Turtle episode right here in this very box. So, I mean, they made everybody waste their money. They didn't even complete the series when they were doing the individual DVDs. And then they finally, somebody says, oh, you know what? We should just probably give them all the episodes. That would have been a great idea. Now, the whole series is not finished, so they can't do that. But is it that crazy to just release? I mean, the first season was already done. They could have at least done that. But they wanted to cash in right away. I don't know, actually, when the first DVD was released. Was it actually the season was complete? The first season? I don't know. At this point, I guess it really doesn't matter. I've already purchased it. So, right off the bat, The other thing that they don't do is, I'm not saying that I'm a special features whore and I, need that in my DVDs. Hey, most of the time, like I said, I'm cheap. I'll get whatever's the cheapest. If I can't have certain things, if it's not like a Star Wars DVD, I don't need to have the special edition. I'm not really concerned with every single movie and every single show about everything behind the scenes. But if I really like it, let me tell you something. When I went to go see the Frieza movie, for Dragon Ball, for the whatever the hell it was called, Resurrection F, Revival F, I said when I reviewed that movie, I said that one of the best things I loved was the pre-show entertainment. When they actually had the cast doing interviews and everything, it was rare. They never used to show that. Even all the years on Toonami, you would think somebody would say, well, hey, these characters are pretty iconic. People probably wanted to see the voices. And they saw all the, whatever it was, it's something like nerd.com or whatever, when they actually had the voiceover actors goofing around and, doing voiceovers over movies and stuff, and the amount of views that got, when you have a giant fandom like Dragon Ball Z, it would be cool to see behind the scenes. So there's nothing on this DVD. There's nothing here. There's nothing behind the scenes. What's the special features? They have the nerve once again to say special features on the DVD menu. It's not special features. It's a bunch of trailers. That's not special. When you pop in the DVD, these Funimation hits you with 10 million trailers already of other shit that you're not really even interested in seeing. So, right away, they hit you with all that crap, and you're not even interested in watching half those trailers. And, that those are special features. They go back again and they show you the same trailers and special features. Now, if I could just pop in the DVD and watch them right from the start, why would I need to go to the special features section? That doesn't make any sense. And so anyway, so they already goofed that up. There's no, episode commentary from any of the show's creators, or, I'm saying, okay, so that would be in Japanese. Okay, but people don't mind reading the subtitles. You're giving us the Japanese audio anyway here on the DVD. Also, how about the Funimation crew? How about, Chris Sabat, or whatever the hell these guys' names are that do the voiceovers? Sean Schimmel, all the people, voice of Goku and everything. Why? Why is nobody there? Why don't they at least give you a little something? A little something to just please the fans. I mean, it was a crowd pleaser when they had the last movie in there. They don't want to do it again. I don't understand that mentality. You could have some really good special features here on this DVD, and it's not really going to cost a lot extra to have that. These are your actors. This is the Funimation voiceover crew. Just to put a little extra something in the DVD, would that really kill them? But they have done this. You don't realize it. They've released 9 volumes of Dragon Ball Z, and then they've released all these other sets. They've done even Dragon Ball Z Kai. They've done that, and they haven't even thought once to put special features on it. I think it's quite maddening, to tell you the least. I mean, why they wouldn't feature that stuff on there is beyond me. I mean, I think that's, it is, especially now that there's only 13 episodes on the disc. I mean, it really is. It's like highway robbery, to say the least. You kind of want to feel like you're getting a good bang for your buck, but you're really not anymore. I mean, you might be, you're just lucky to have the episodes on DVD. Is that really an accomplishment nowadays? To transfer a show onto a DVD or a Blu-ray, they could do it like that. I mean, I know how to do that. Anybody knows how to do that, right? People figure out how to do it, when they're not even supposed to be doing it, for God's sakes. So anyway, so what do I think about this show? The show is basically what I said if you watch my reviews of Battle of the Gods or anything like that. The show is great. I like Beerus as a character. I like Whis. I mean, I think these are some of the best characters they've ever come up with. I love how they're in between. They're not good guys. They're not bad guys. They're in between. I mean, they're a little bit. They more seem like they kind of lean on the good end of things. Storytelling is excellent. I still love, it is genius how they manage to really bullshit and still keep you entertained. I mean, do you realize, it's like what they did with the Namek saga and the Frieza saga, and the Majin Buu saga, of course. They stretch this shit out like nobody else can. I mean, they do it in a way, though, that is entertaining. I know a lot of people complain about the filler. That's why they made Dragon Ball Z Kai. I personally hated Kai. It's not the worst thing ever, but I felt that it affected the charm of the show. I think a lot of the filler is a lot of the comedy. It's a lot of stuff that I think is crucial to the enjoyment of the show. So, a lot of people will complain. I've had people say to me that they thought that this show started off boring. I think they're out of their minds, especially people that said that they enjoyed Battle of the Gods. Now, I don't know what it is. Maybe people wanted more upfront fighting. I mean, maybe you got to understand that people are also bullshitting big time about Dragon Ball GT. Well, let me tell you something. When I was in junior high, when I was in high school, when we were in the early 2000s, and Dragon Ball was getting hotter than the fucking sun, people were talking about Dragon Ball GT when, nobody even knew about it. They were finding this shit on the internet. They were finding bootleg DVDs. Then they finally released it on Toonami back in 2005 or whatever. When the show came out, people loved it. They didn't really care that it wasn't canon or whatever the case may be. People loved the show. Now all of a sudden people want to say that it sucks and everything, but people loved it. So I think maybe people wanted that Dragon Ball GT style, maybe where it was really super powered, all about fighting. But this show actually, it's more jokey than Dragon Ball Z was. It really was. That's not to say that Dragon Ball Z didn't have its funny moments. This one has way funnier moments right off the bat. I mean, this is charm turned up to 11. And it doesn't feel like they're going overboard. I think throwing in Emperor Pilaf, I think throwing in his crew, showing us Trunks and Goten, messing around for Bulma's birthday party, finding the Dragon Balls and all that. I think that stuff is very endearing. I think, this is what I'm saying. I also really love, I don't care what anybody says, the English dialogue. I think they have a way of making it very cutesy without it being annoying, where it just leaves a smile on my face. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I mean, there's a lot of times in this show really where it made me laugh out loud. And a lot of the moments with Whis eating and Beerus's obsession with food, but he's also a earth-shattering god. I mean, I think I think it's brilliant writing. I think it's stuff that they didn't even really think of back then. I mean, there's a lot of jokes. I mean, you ever really think about this? Dragon Ball always has... I mean, this is like with a lot of animes. There's a lot of jokes about food in this shit, like about people being obsessed with food and everything. And now they've actually created a character where it's a bit of Majin Buu, where he's like eating and inhaling people, turning them into candy, eating everything out of the cake shop. I mean, and they even play off of that with the pudding. There's like a lot of jokes in there about that, where Beerus and Majin Buu even square off, and I thought it was clever. I mean, they do a lot of stuff where they correlate things from Z into Dragon Ball Super, and the continuity is there. It's excellent. They never forgot where they came from. Now, Dragon Ball GT did that. They kind of forgot about a lot of shit. That's why people kind of, now, I guess, now that people are older, they're looking for a sense of you guys all loved it back then in high school. You loved that shit. You were eating it up. Now that we're all in our late 20s and 30s, now you guys want to say, oh, it was garbage. No, you guys loved it for what it was. It was all right. It wasn't wonderful. It wasn't stupendous. It lost a lot of its charm. There's a bit of charm in GT, but right away you recognize that Akira Toriyama charm right here. And the little touches that Funimation does. You know what I love to do, though, with this DVD, really? I love to keep the subtitles on for the translations, like from Japanese, direct translations of like what they're saying in Japanese. And you see how how Funimation changed it for English. And I gotta say, there's a lot of times where I look at the dialogue, and I think that what the English dub says is funnier and better. I think there's a lot of times where the comedy really doesn't come across, and I've heard actually people say the exact opposite, where they say a lot of the funny moments are compromised. I mean, to me, it's harder to really laugh at dialogue. It's funny when you're hearing the language that you understand, and the joke is being delivered to you through like an auditory sense. I mean, I think that's way better. So, show is great. The DVD is a bit crappy. It really is. I mean, I don't know which genius came along. I mean, a marketing genius, obviously, because they knew people were going to buy it. But there are going to be those people that hold off, the fans that are going to be smarter than me and everybody else. I just wanted to watch the show. I fell behind, and so, the best way to do it is, this is like almost impossible to find online without getting a fucking virus, so I just figured, what, let's just spend the $15, start the collection anyway, even though I'm probably going to end up with, like, DVDs, like, there's going to be, like, fucking, like, 50 different DVDs, because God knows when this series is even going to end. They're saying that they're going to end it, but I don't think it's over quite yet, as far as the Japanese version goes. Anyway, so guys, yeah, do I recommend that you buy the DVD? if you're like a super fan and you don't want to wait, then by all means go and buy it. But if you could like hold off and you're all caught up with the Cartoon Network stuff and you love the English version, you know, if you're a Japanese fan, there's really like no point unless you want to have the Blu-rays or the DVDs, because you're probably subscribed to Crunchyroll. You've probably downloaded it somehow already. You found a torrent, whatever the case may be. So, you know, most people probably are not going to go and buy the DVD. But if you really are interested in doing that, go ahead. It might be a while before, you know, because they're probably going to do this. This is their cash employ, obviously. They know that the series is popular. They know that they haven't had a response like this, Funimation, for an anime in a long, long time. Of course, because it's the Dragon Ball series. They figured, hey, let's split it up and make more money that way. Genius. Scummy, yes, but it is genius on their part. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the review of Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, it's part 1. Part 1 of 36, probably. But, you know, whatever. It's already been released. I've already bought it. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Until next time.